All right, we're back. 2023 is a wrap, and now the focus is on 2024. Happy New Year! So we'll see what will happen this year. Will the S&P 500 make new highs, or is the market due for a correction? And also, what's happening with our positions? What's happening? Do we have any new positions today? We'll take a look at this. So welcome to Coffee with Markus and Mark. And today is Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. And in this show, we're going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. Did you have a good New Year's?
It was great, Markus. It was, well, actually, I didn't mention it yet, but my one of my girls had a surprise engagement party. So Sydney was proposed to, and yes, so that was exciting. That was a lot of fun.
Congratulations. Okay,
Thank
you
you.
approve?
Yes, absolutely. Nas is a super great guy. Super happy for the two of them.
All right, good. Well, let's see what's happening in the markets here. And, well, first we got to talk about the stake zone. Well, that didn't work out too well. The stake zone is here. The S&P finished right there. So I owe you more stakes. What stakes do you want to have this time?
Well, Markus, I'll be honest. I will take the win, and I really have to commend you on the optimism and bullishness that you had back when traders and investors were freaking out at the end of October. So I give you a win for that. It just wasn't the best bet for you, keeping such a narrow zone for the S&P to end it the year at. But you know what? It kind of turned into a pizza zone because I did get the coolest pizza oven from you for Christmas. And I think we could say it's a wash because that really is
A bet
awesome.
is a bet. A bet is a bet. So, tomahawks or ribeyes?
Whatever looks good.
Okay, all right. I'll find something.
You never
I'll send it to
disappointed
you
me.
away. Okay, so but yeah, who would have known? I mean, this here is a weekly chart. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. I mean, kind of crazy if you look at this. I mean, since the end of October until the end of the year, up 16%. I mean, what a run. It's like unbelievable. 9 weeks in a row, scratching new all-time highs here. Not quite there yet, but within striking distance, only 1% away from these highs that we had here.
Yeah, pretty hard to have called that one, Markus, and with just such a nice increase there. I mean, we were looking at a decent gain for the year back in October, but something that was a little more in line with, benchmark norms. And so just a huge rally 9 weeks straight. So the S&P finishes the year with a 24% gain.
Yeah. Okay. However, this is where we start the year. On Friday, we already saw that the markets were pulling back. Let's switch to a 5-minute chart. So we see on Friday, markets were moving lower, trying to pull up, still finishing negative. But today, look at this. Massive drop here right now. The S&P down 0.7%.
And so the adventure begins.
So much for making new all-time highs. I mean, pulling a bit further away. On Friday, we were within 1%. Now we're moving almost 2% away from new all-time highs.
Yeah, a little bit of profit taking end of the year. Quiet week, no surprise there. But today, a decent dip. It's the Nasdaq right now leading the indices with losses after tech stocks taking a little bit of a hit.
Yeah, let's actually switch over to the heat map, and this is where we see it. The Magnificent Seven, Apple, got a downgrade from Barclays this morning. So it started there, down 3.3%. Nvidia, Microsoft down, Amazon down 2%, Google down 2%, Meta down 3.5%. I mean, there you go. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What am I missing? Tesla just around the unchanged mark. That is the Magnificent Seven that have been driving this massive 40% plus gain in the Nasdaq last year. And this is where it seems that right now, a little bit of profit taking. And again, Barclays downgrading Apple.
And this downgrade comes with a statement that Barclays believes Apple can lose about 17% this year because of weaker iPhone sales. So that, hey, it's yet to be seen, but a little bit of profit taking maybe after such a strong way to finish the year for Apple, and you see that hit there. But then, like you said, the Magnificent Seven, other than Tesla, also in the red.
Yeah. So today, Nasdaq is getting hammered, but I mean, we just talked about it. Last year, they were up. What did we have? Like 42%, 43%. So it's kind of crazy. Yes, a little bit of profit taking. However, I mean, let's see what happens this week. So, I mean, first of all, let's take a look at the economic calendar. And on the economic calendar, we see yesterday was a holiday. And then this week, it's all about jobs again.
Exactly. First Friday of the month, the all important jobs report. And so we know that that means it is a week for jobs Wednesday. Well, there you have the Friday highlight there. I mean, that's going to always be the biggie with the three reports there: average hourly earnings, non farm employment numbers, and the unemployment rate. But things kick off Wednesday, not Wednesday, Thursday, well, kind of Wednesday with Jolt's
Tomorrow, yeah,
job.
the Jolts.
Yeah, I'll give Jolt's jobs a little uh, spotlight. But then there's ADP non-farm on Thursday. Typically that comes out Wednesday, but with Monday being a holiday, that's pushed to Thursday.
Yeah. And then we see here what's happening with the average or with the jobs report. I mean, expected that unemployment is ticking up by 1% and the average hourly earnings are going down by 0.1%.
And all of this expectation plays right into what investors would want for the Fed, right? And the idea that peak inflation is over and that the Fed's ready to cut rates, lower average hourly earnings, lower non-farm numbers, a higher unemployment rate. So we'll see if there's a significant difference between what's forecast and what actually comes out.
Yeah, talking about rates, I mean, rates up this morning. If we look at the 10-year yield and we look at a 5-minute chart, oops, there we go. We see it's pulling back a little bit, but this morning, I mean, right out of the gate, we were up. We were scratching the 4% here almost. I mean, we were up more than 2.5% right now, pulling back, still up 1.75%. So definitely ticking a little bit higher here today.
Yeah, pretty big spike at the early on in the session. We'll see if it holds, but that putting pressure on equities for sure.
Yeah. Also, the VIX, the fear index this morning, I mean, jumping above 14, right now pulling back a little bit, but pretty good jump here since the markets are pulling back. And I mean, we like the increased volatility. It helps us since we are selling premiums in options. So it's good. We have been trading here at a super low level. So it's good to see the VIX jumping up here a little bit. I mean, if you look at it, we have been trading here at levels around 12 and liking it that we are moving towards the upper range here again. And maybe even we can climb above this. What do you think?
I definitely like this increase in volatility. I think volatility is a trader's friend and creates opportunity, especially when you're selling options. So this is good for us and the wheel strategy. And I wouldn't mind seeing this pop a little bit higher, just seeing some more volatility as we kick off the new year.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk about a few stocks and also markets. I mean, first of all, before we talk about our positions, gold, GC1, gold, gold, gold. I mean, look at this. Gold had a great year. I mean, I took some notes here. Gold was up 13%, and this is in 2023. First time since 2020 that gold is up again.
And that's interesting because you have the theoretical inflation hedge and flight to safety and all of these reasons where gold should do well, but it kind of played a little bit of catch up. And this is because the dollar was so strong And then in the fourth quarter, the dollar just fallen. So if you look at the dollar index DXY, because typically you'll see an inverse relationship where the dollar is strong, gold is weak, dollar is weak, gold is strong. And so some of what you might expect when inflation is high wasn't quite there until the dollar started to weaken.
Yeah. And then Bitcoin making a move. I mean, Bitcoin just having a phenomenal year. Bitcoin up 172% and now cracking through the 45,000 level. I mean, this is a level that traders have been watching, and this is based on news. Did you see the news this morning?
I didn't.
Yeah, so it was BlackRock and their ETF. So BlackRock updated their registration for a proposed Bitcoin ETF, basically indicating it is happening. And we talked about it. Why is this significant for Bitcoin? Well, as an ETF, you can invest in Bitcoin if you have a regular stock trading account. So you don't need to have a cryptocurrency account, and this will create more demand and make it available to the masses. And also, I believe that you will be able to trade it in retirement accounts if you wanted to, right?
Sure.
I mean, right now you could not do it with cryptocurrencies, but you can do it with the Bitcoin ETF. So the Bitcoin ETF is a big deal. And when BlackRock is behind it, I mean, BlackRock, massive company here for ETFs.
Sure, and I just saw a headline saying that the SEC's to decide on the Bitcoin ETF approval is on January 10th. So it looks like everything is headed that way. And then speculation on what happens after that. But investors definitely, or Bitcoin traders, definitely liking the prospect. Do you think this is going to be more of a buy the rumor, sell the fact, and we sell off after that? Or
No,
is it
I think that Bitcoin
Bitcoin?
will really get a boost. I mean, as soon as they get an influx into this ETF and they will see how popular it is, I do believe, especially that right now that Bitcoin is trading at these levels, more and more people are getting interested. I mean, I saw even an article this morning. Let me see if I can bring it up. I saw it on CNBC where somebody said that it could go up to 500,000 or something like this. Let me just quickly see. No, I can't find it as quickly. There you go.
Oh,
Look
there
at
it
this.
is.
These are the boldest predictions for 2024 for
Gee.
Bitcoin. One calls it goes up to 500,000. And I mean, this is where, I mean, many people are talking about 100,000. And this is where the FOMO, the fear of missing out, will pop in. And hey, if you can participate in, even if you're in a retirement account, you just throw a couple of $1,000s at it. It might be something there where this ETF sees a big, huge influx.
Will be interesting. Is Bitcoin, or is 2024 Bitcoin's year? We'll
Could be. I
see.
mean, 2023 was definitely Bitcoin's year, up 173%. Are you kidding me? Let's talk about our position, see what's happening here. So first up, CSIQ. CSIQ marching higher, not yet where we want it to be, but also today up just a tad. I mean, we were down, but right now up around the unchanged mark, 0.08. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Seems that we are forming a pretty good trend line here. And I mean, this has also been a pretty good run up. If you look from this low here, to these highs. I mean, this is a 50% gain that we had here.
Wow. Yeah, that's it. That's catches you off guard. 50%. That's huge. I mean, I know it's been a nice run up. We see it in the chart, but wow, I
So
50%.
not yet in call selling territories, but definitely going well. And then NEE, I mean, today up 1.5% against the grain, against the overall market. Because if right now we look at the S&P, we are trading at around session lows, so just a few minutes ago, but right now still down 0.65%. NEE today, Next Era Energy, up 1.43%, nicely obeying this trend line that we have here.
Yeah, I'm liking this move. I think that out of well, there's one more to talk about, but he's headed right where we wanted to go.
Yeah. All right, and then we have UPS. UPS, I mean, I've had fun selling calls right now. My break even is down at 147.38. I got assigned at 157.50 here. And this morning, I sold more calls. I mean, because right now I'm super interested still in selling the 160 calls. And they were available this morning. So if we zoom in here a little bit, see that. Let me just move this so that we can see everything. So I sold the January 160 call, got $1,140 in premium, and still have the possibility to make a stock gain of $3,000 here. So this would be a total of what, 4,000 and something. There we go, 4,140 if on Friday we close above 160.
Yeah, you did a great job with UPS. Love the entry that you had. Where I'm at, not possible to sell calls right now, but keeping an eye on it.
Yeah. So, I mean, for you, the 165, but UPS also today against the grain up 1.3%, which I think is great on a down day like this. So that's promising.
I agree. My break even's at 161.06, but want to see it move a little higher before I sell calls.
Yeah. And then we were looking at some new trades because right now we have two open positions here, but didn't really see anything that excited us really. There were a few energy stocks. I mean, of course, we looked at Apple. Let me just bring it up here. I mean, with the downgrade to see if this would trade at a level where we are comfortable selling puts. But I mean, for me, this is still too high. I would
Yeah,
be happier of selling puts right here at around the 170 mark.
sure. I mean, even if you got a little aggressive and went up towards 175, 177.50 with those lows that go back to August, but 185 is just way too high for me.
Yeah. So nothing yet. And other than this, surprisingly, we really had energy stocks popping up. Marathon Oil, Halliburton. We looked at XOM this morning, but you already looked at XOM, ExxonMobil on Friday. So this morning, the 101 strike price is available, but you said you saw something better last Friday.
Oh yeah, Friday, last trading day of the year, it was popping up at the 99, and I was close to pulling the trigger. I actually thought we might see some selling on the first day of 2024, which we see, but not necessarily in oil and gas.
Yeah.
And part of this is because of the issues and tension in the Red Sea. So there's a little volatility with oil there. The U.S. forces, I guess, clashed, you could say, with Iran-backed militants. So it's just some issues that are creating some difficulties with shipping there and crude oil. So with that uncertainty, uh, not getting the broad market sell-off, and also in oil and gas, and crude oil's now down 1%, which is interesting, all over the place.
Yeah, but Exxon is up 2%, right? So if it is up more than
Yeah,
2%, that's why we don't want to sell puts. I mean, we like to do it on down days. So this is why
sure.
we actually looked at the heat map to see if there's anything super interesting popping up. But I mean, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, they're all trading still very high. And you see, other than this, most sectors here, I mean, the energy sector, the real estate sector, consumer defensive, I mean, they're all in the greens here. Healthcare in green, the only one down Costco. But I mean, Costco was also on a phenomenal run. Costco made new all time highs just a few days ago. So after this pulling back, I mean, look at this massive run up here from end of October. I mean, this is 25%. That's huge for Costco.
Yeah.
So this we're also not too surprised that we are pulling back here a little bit.
And the S&P about 1.5% away from record highs. When will we hit record highs, Marcus?
Okay, so we talked about it this morning. I believe that we will hit record highs in the next 2 weeks because this is where traders, we were so close. We were so close. I also do believe that today we might actually fill the gap here or attempt to fill the gap. So I do feel that we'll pull higher here for today. And then if we are in a striking distance of only 1%, I mean, that's only 40 points in the S&P 500 to all-time highs. I believe that this is where traders will try to push it before then possibly we see a little bit more of a correction here.
I like that prediction, and I couldn't make a stake bet with you, but I'll give you a cookie bet. So a gentleman's bet. If we were in the same town, it would definitely be a whiskey bet, but instead it will be a cookie bet.
All right, all right. We'll see. So I do believe that we can take the stake zone off for now. I mean, this was fun. It was a fun bet. You win again. And again, right now, the bet is that we will touch or we will make new all-time highs within the next 2 weeks, which means this trading week or next trading week. And we're talking now about a box of cookies because your freezer is just full.
It is a little full, especially
Right,
with me making
okay.
some pizza these days.
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to the markets hopefully pulling back a little bit more, the VIX climbing up so that we can sell more puts. But otherwise, I mean, our positions are moving in the right direction. We're doing well. So, hey, hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, do us a favor and give us a like, and feel free to share this video if you feel that others could benefit from it. Also, if this is your first time here, click on subscribe, hit the little notification bell, because this way you get notified whenever we go live, which will be again tomorrow, and maybe already tomorrow, hitting new all-time highs. We'll see. Anyhow, have a great rest of your day.
Happy trading, everybody.